Hello everyone, Mr. Stevens here, with our next lesson in our trigonometry unit. This time we're looking at finding unknown angles. This is the last of the three methods we need to learn that will comprise basically everything we need to do in trigonometry. We've learned how to find sides when they're onto the top of the fraction and when they're on the denominator of the fraction. Finding the angle now is the last piece of that puzzle. And funnily enough, the process is actually very similar to the ones we went through with finding unknown sides. And it also has the same handy feature that once we've learnt the process, we can just apply it to any question. We're starting off exactly the same, writing down the trigonometric ratio from the question and all the information that's given to us. Now, this time though, when we rearrange to get theta this time, the angle by itself, we've got to use these fancy new things. Sine, cos, tan to the -1. I'm going to show you exactly what that means and how to use it on your calculator. Because that's all we're going to be doing. We're just going to be plugging this stuff into our calculator. There's nothing really any more difficult about this than finding unknown sides. Here's another checklist, same as before. If you've liked following the checklist, having it there in your notes, pause here, write this one down. Right. I'm going to do these ones. I just want you to watch me. Right. Starting with this first one, I've got the opposite side. I've got the hypotenuse. So I'm using sine. I'm going to write down everything that the question is telling me. Sine theta equals 1/2. All right, now I need to rearrange this so that sine is not there anymore and theta is just by itself. If you remember back to algebra, if I had 2x equals 1/2, I would do the opposite of times and divide by 2. And that would get the x by itself. Well, what we're going to do here is actually the exact same thing. If you look on your calculator right now at your sine button, you'll see right above it, there is a thing that says sine to the -1. If I take the sine -1 of both sides of this equation, the sines cancel each other out. So our next line is going to look something like this. And this is just, that's what we put in our calculator. Whoops. We put that into our calculator. Instead of pressing sine 1/2, we press shift sine 1/2. And that gives us the answer, which is 30. And this is an angle, so it's 30 degrees. I'm going to move really quickly through the next two. Once we come to the next set of examples, the we do's, I'll slow it down a little bit. But I just want to show you this again with just you watching me. I've got adjacent, I've got hypotenuse. I'm using cos theta equals 1.5/2.5. My next line, I'm getting theta by itself by using cos -1. And now I just put this line straight into my calculator. Shift cos, fraction button, 1.5/2.5. Close the brackets, press equals. That gives me my answer, 53.1301. I won't do the next one here. I'll move on to this one. And I'll get you guys to pick up your pen and do these ones with me. All right, first triangle. What ratio do we need to use? We've got A, we've got H. SOHCAHTOA tells us that we need to use cos. Cos theta equals 19 over 26. So that means theta equals cos to the -1, 19 over 26. Whenever we're finding theta, this is going to be the pattern. We're going to use shift cos, fraction button, 19 over 26, close the brackets, press equals. There we have our answer. 43.0490 dot dot dot. Let's round to 2 decimal places. 43.05. Next one, the pattern is the same. The only thing that's different is we've got O and A, so we're using 10. We're using 10 to the minus 1 here. Now it just goes into our calculator. Same as before. And our calculator tells us that this is 40.6012 dot dot dot. Now I missed something very important over here. I missed out the degree symbol. We are finding angles here. So strictly speaking, your answer is not complete if it doesn't have the degree symbol. Because we're finding angles. Angles are in degrees. We need our units. All right. Here's something for you to do. I'm going to show you what finding your answer to the nearest minute means when I go through the solutions. Right now, I just want you to do these two triangles exactly the same as we did the previous example. Pause the video, have a go at it by yourself. Solutions and some discussion about the nearest minute will be here when you get back. All right, here are the solutions. The first one is rounded off to the nearest degree. And we're actually going to switch over to my camera right now so I can show you what you need to do on your calculator for this second question. We've got the answer here straight out of the calculator, 51.85548, so on. We're going to press this button here, the degrees, minutes, seconds button, and it puts it into this form. We've got degrees, we've got minutes, and we've got seconds. So what we're doing here is we're rounding it off there. This is below 30, so this stays the same. Back over here now on the screen, because we rounded off here, this is below 30, this didn't change. Now the important thing to notice here is that we're in degrees, minutes, seconds. There are only 60 minutes and 60 seconds. So let me give you an example. If this had said 51 degrees, 51 minutes, 34 seconds, we would actually round this up. Normally when we're dealing with decimals, we round up from 5 because 5 is in the middle. But because minutes and seconds only go to 60, the middle is 30. So if this is over 30, we round up. If we were rounding here to degrees and this was over 30, we would round up. That can take a little getting used to. If you're still struggling with that a little bit, when you're able to, ask your teacher to explain it to you again. That's probably the part of this that is the most sort of spanner in the works. This process, getting the ratio, using sine to the minus 1 to get theta by itself, getting the answer from our calculator, I think that's fairly straightforward. That's almost the same as what we've been doing for finding unknown sides. But you may be asked for your answer in minutes or seconds, and that can be a bit of a spanner in the works. But your teacher will be more than happy to help you out. Jump into the practice in the textbook, and yeah, ask for help if you need it. Thanks, guys.